matches these two teams are, the truth is the margin for error is slim, right? You're riding on a knife's edge here. So that while seemingly minor, can make a notable difference. We'll see how things play out here on Ascent. Cloud9's going to be kicking things off on the attacking side. They've got a whole lot of presence over by B. You see the Reyna relics, making sure there's nobody pushing up towards A, no early aggression being taken as Cloud9 try to sniff out the map and see what information they can get.
Yeah, and this is, as I mentioned, we're in Agent Select. Breach and Sova here are the two support. Like float in between mid, handle market, rotate towards tree and catwalk. And Dazed already pointing on his rotations, and that's a little cheeky bit of a one-way there over at tree. I like that.
Paranoia goes through, Cloud bursts, Zeta dashes in, Automatic gets pushed back, as does Dazed. But they try to hold the line, they get pushed back, but Dazed steps right back into the chaos and takes care of Zeta.
Yeah, Scoodle over here. Joined by his teammate Curry on site. Immediately pressured by Leaf, he'll fall, and Cloud9 expecting the Cypher here. Vice loses his duel, Automatic chimes in from... Oh man, and T1 immediately wipes.
Dude, and Curry back there was a serious problem for Cloud9, right? Like, they had to deal with him, and he was enough of a pest, enough of a nuisance, that it bought time for the rest of the members of T1 to show up, cause some shenanigans, and get the round. Very well played by T1.
Doug, I'm wondering whether or not that was a little bit of a miscue at Cloud9. Like, not only was I not ready for the B split to happen, but it seemed like Zeta maybe jumped the gun over there at Tree just by a few moments. Teammates weren't quite ready towards market. So it seemed like T1 was already well on their way towards B to reinforce both Curry and Skadoodle, who, as you said, causing problems in backside. And a fast play on the site. Daze drops him. The Judge Jet dash already dropped.
Oh, what a good paranoia. Skadoodle's able to just really pick that kill apart, understanding where another one is. Utility everywhere. As Spider shows up as well, he's got a Marshall. As they creep their way back up towards the site, Cloud9 says, nah, we're getting the heck out, bro. They start to rotate over towards the middle of the map, but you already see T1 wisely waiting for it.
One enemy remaining.
And Spectre snipers behold ADS frags coming out for Spider, and Skiddle did damage towards Relics, but hasn't cleaned it up just yet. Fault line comes through, concussed Relics, biding his time, hoping for a free one. Throws a jiggle out, gets dropped by Spider. He collects 3, and man, that's 2 rounds in a row where I'm just like impressed by the speed at which Cloud9's moving, but T1 handles it in stride.
They handled it very well, and again, you saw the Judge dash showed nothing, and then the paranoia really kind of set things sideways on B, and Cloud9 had no room to work with there, right? The tip of the spear that they had getting onto B was destroyed.
Yeah, despite the fact that you invested into that round with Cloud9, you know, you bought weaponry, you had a play in mind, but there's a reason why T1 won that round, and it wasn't just that they hit their shots, of course. It was they were playing towards B, expecting that rush to come through. It was on site. Spider over here at A main, immediately saying, yeah, come challenge me. I'll give you what's yours, and Curry also chiming in with one more. Now C9 down to 2 members remaining. But really, it just seems like they're steps ahead of where Cloud9 want to be. And time enough for at least one more frag for Curry, as Leaf just left all on his lonesome.
All on his lonesome, 15 health as well. It's not like the guy's healthy, right? There's just there's just a tough spot for Leaf here. But you know, I want to draw back to something that you were mentioning earlier, Lex, and it seems like T1 is reading the map really well.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a what you can expect, or what we as a community have expected of, you know, a Dazed roster, where certainly with the addition of Automatic, a lot of IGL experience on this team. So you got to expect that they've got a game plan in mind, and sure, you could dissect their VODs, find some weaknesses, and perhaps Cloud9 has, but really seems like T1 willing to rotate their setups based on what they expect in the round. And already you got Breach, Sova, Cypher all over here expecting a fast B play, and Yeah, there was Cloud9 members ready to pounce through B main as it was, but holding just a moment longer. Willing to throw an owl drone up through market. Draw maybe a rotator over, but despite the fact that Curry is the lone player in market, you've got a nice setup. Whether or not it works will be found out here in a moment.
Nice. Dashes onto the switch to hit it and get the door down in one fell swoop. Cloud9 managed to get some room to work with on the site. Curry gets it down. To try to work forward. The spike gets handed off. It should be going down on B, and now on T1. Now it's on T1 at a numbers disadvantage to try to retake the site. Mitch able to get one. Spider fishing up top. Not going to spot anything, but it's automatic who does. That's going to give Spider a bit more room to work with. They're on a decent spot here, but no, it's just down to automatic here. Maybe you play to try to trap him in and ruin some economy, but he's going to drop. Relics gets the final shots. Cloud9 get on the board.
Yeah, and it was, a little bit of a bonus out of T1, so unfortunate, but Cloud9 is showing a tendency here where not only are they leaning towards B often enough as it is, only 5 rounds in, but flash and dash is not uncommon at all, but certainly is potent coming off the back of Zeta, who's just creating so much space, getting over there towards Switch, finding an unwitting Skadoodle who did not realize that he was that far pushed up, swung perhaps his own demise, but, T1 seemed like they were going to be ready for that, but caught with abilities out, maybe a little bit uncomfortable when it actually occurred. And as I mentioned, that's just the speed of the jet being able to get up in their face. Little drops a flashpoint through the wall of B main, drops another one. Curry swings, and he's got the first one on the Relics.
Super well played. Spider with the op getting one as well on device. Cloud9 and Cloud9 they're just getting picked apart too, and the spike isn't committed to anything. You see Mitch is taking some space across B, but I mean not really meaningful space at this point. You've got T1, they have 2 players anchoring the site down. Leaf is going to rotate over, but he gets spotted. So now, I mean, the gig's up, right?
Yeah, they may have at least claimed a little bit of map control here at B main, but man, T1 has made them bleed for it, and so Mitch, hoping that somebody peeks him, hoping that somebody tries to challenge this. Odin doesn't get anything just yet. T1 already rotated into place. Pincer in position. Flanks underway. Leaf under fire here at stairs.
Automatic's behind him. Yeah.
There it is.
Automatic was on the flank there. And look, like when you're in a 2v5, literally everything is a flank. Right? Like there's nothing is safe. Right? And for Cloud9, they just had no real options. It was very well set up initially. You saw T1 drop a couple of those flashes, give Curry a bit of room to work with to get that pick across B, and from there, really, they just kind of picked them apart one by one. Very methodical, surgical in how they were really dismantling Cloud9.
And it's really, it speaks to what we mentioned in the pregame, Doug, where Skadoodle is running this support breach. He's moving around from different sides of the map, round after round, but when they believe that there's going to be a B play, he's over there towards B. And right there, flashing Curry into B main. That breach flashpoint is potent when it hits somebody in the grill. And Relics felt the pain of that. And now we got a nice, fast cat play, at least to take this tree control from Cloud9.
Nice shots by Zeta, man. That opens things up. That Blade Storm is huge. Now you got to keep an eye. Oh, you've got to keep an eye on Spider. Yep. Spots one. Doesn't connect, but again, the thing is his positioning. You have to respect it. You can't ignore that. Skadoodle able to take care of Mitch. You hear the ult from Cypher has been used to give everything away. Zeta with the Blade Storm. Zeta drops. Just down to Vice. He's going to drop as well. T1 very well played on that retake. And again, guns weren't great for Cloud9, but an impressive retake from T1 nonetheless.
Yeah, impressive that they even got the spike down to begin with. Yeah, you invested the Blade Storm in it. You only get one frag, but despite the fact that, Spider's just like, yeah, I'll take this free real estate. Hold on to A main here. You guys can go ahead and plant the spike. Just awaiting his teammates to come in and, finish the job, so to speak. He's already having a breakout start to this game, 8-1-0. Very close behind, but doesn't really kind of tell the tale of how important these op frags are when he's able to open things up in the round.
Yep. Now, here's where I expect to see something a little spicy from Cloud9, right? They've got full guns, they've got 4 ults to work with, big ults as well. So I'm curious to see how they're going to play this one out. They could have gone hot and heavy. Obviously, at this point, they haven't opted to do something like that, but they have a ton of options here.
I can't wait to see the outcome of this Mitch duel, and there it is. That is such a scary thing when you're not taking A main, B main control every round. You are always going to be open to the possibility of a jet off just hanging out around the corner, and there it is. Spider finds one. Hunter's Fury comes out. Side of Cloud9 does not get anything for it. The A site has been yielded by T1. The spike plant should be coming out any second now, Doug.
Yeah, the Empress was used as well. So I mentioned all of those ults. I mean, they're there. The only one that wasn't channeled was a lockdown. That's because Mitch lost that opening duel. Cloud9 have gotten onto the site. They've gotten the spike down as well. T1 pushing in from a couple of different areas. Relic's big there, getting one. There should be one more for him to deal with here. But for Cloud9, so far, so good. Relic's with another man. The guy is just so good as he takes care of Curry. You hear the Hunter Fury has been used. Cloud9, they're in a good spot here. And for T1, I think you start to question whether or not you really want to fully commit to this or just play for the exits. Relic's already with 3. That Empress has just been so difficult for T1 to deal with here. Well played by Cloud9. Beautiful round.
Man, that is what you pay your duelists for. Relic's delivering with 3 big ones on the round when the Empress is popped. You know, that could have very easily, we all saw it, just how precarious that situation with automatic was over at Tree. One wrong step, a gun barrel in the grill of an opponent, and maybe that goes the other way if the Empress comes through. As I said, Relic's just being a constant issue on the retake there for T1. And frankly, you can't even really move in to retake the site at all until you've dealt with him. And
right
where I'm thinking about it, you know, he didn't only just do his job, he went above and beyond at that point.
Yeah, absolutely huge there. We'll see what Cloud9 can do, and you kind of wonder here on the attacking side, still having that lockdown. I mean, ultimately, certainly less than ideal that Mitch dies early on in that last round, but then maybe the silver lining here is that they still have a very impactful ultimate to work with as they try to get another round here on the attacking side.
True. And Spider has been consistently playing this jet towards A role and ascent for T1, it seems like, throughout several different maps now, but you still got to deal with it somehow. This isn't something where you can just take a wide swing, win the duel against him. So for Zeta, the really tight situation to be in, and he's throwing his own little fake over here at A. Cloudbursts come out, the tailwind comes in. He creates so much space, but there's 4 players from T1. Look at the fake here, Doug. Curry, this is your time to shine, man.
It was eye candy. That's all it was, and they bit. Curry's the only one on B.
30 seconds
Leaf
left.
gets 1. Curry there still in the spot to really go huge. Curry gets 1, but Vice sniffs it out, takes care of him. Skadoodle still has the Rolling Thunder, so there's some there, but I guess you really need the Rolling Thunder when you've got shots like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
No, what? Vice goes huge there, and the spike's going to go down. This looked like it was going so sideways as it drops down to a 2v2. The spike has been planted. T1 now starting to slowly mosey their way forwards as you've got the 2 remaining members of Cloud9 posted up in Boathouse, trying to anchor things down. No ultimates to work with. Automatic Beaker here as they make their way in. Spider, first one there. Mitch, Vice spotted 1, but they've got to go here. I don't think they have enough time. Spider gets 1. Automatic gets the second one. Wow. The retakes from T1.
I got it.
Not even close.
Yeah, man. 0.31 on the clock.
Not even close.
But how... that was such a beautiful round from Cloud9, okay? For a couple reasons. Not only the individual little fake there from Zeta. I mean, the fact that it's that successful, that's just Omen, you know, dark cover, being able to cause a little bit of confusion, putting some utility towards the site, and actually showing the body of Zeta. you don't know where the jet is, right? She's flying around through the cloudburst in the dark cover. So much to try and clear visually that you just can't.
Yeah.
Right. And so that 5-10 seconds that he's buying there, the side of C9 is enough for the regroup, for the B split, even the entries to go their way. And despite that, and even some good fortune to halt the rolling thunder, you know, like there was so much going right for Cloud9. So that retake speaks volumes as to how well T1 has been playing individually in this game. And they play coming out here right now for Cloud9.
Rain of Blind comes out, sees Ada dash in, and is met with an unfortunate ending, but they have a decent idea of where Automatic is. Leaf goes in aggressive, able to take care of him. Relics joins in as well as he drops Daze, but Skadoodle tries to show up, make a little bit of impact. He's met with the same fate. Cloud9 once again in a really good spot where they've gotten the spike down, and they're in a 3v2, but we've seen T1, we've seen how good they can be on the retakes. Relics, great spot here. The shot goes just a bit wide. Relics once again coming up huge for Cloud9 as T1's just down to Curry. And I mean, he can certainly try, but this is a big ask for Curry. Right. Cloud9 gets to 3.
You know, tall order, but just a bit too tall. And as you said, on 3 now, Cloud9's attack side is sent. You know, you hope for 5 or more than likely, but starts here. This is a bigger round maybe than I'm willing to concede, just by purely, you know, the idea that Cloud9 could have been reset. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're, you know, struggling economically while trying to make a comeback. But now it's T1. Check it out. Spider on a Spectre. Might have to play for an orb, get his Blade Storm out, but early fault line from Breach at A main, and already, okay, there it is. Spider and A main.
Yep. Got one. There's a Blade Storm. Oh, the flash was there, and it just hadn't connected, but it didn't matter as Relics. Dude has like 75,000 kills right now. Relics has been on this map.
He definitely has. Seems fired up. I mean, Relics is so fun to watch mechanically when he's in the zone, and we saw it a few rounds prior at Catwalk. Able to at least punish the aggression there from Spider. Could have been way, way different considering the fact that he just Blade Storm activated. Cloud9, who showed a lot of A aggression early, has understood and yielded the fact that maybe there's just too many T1 players here for us to just walk right in. Let's reset, clear the map, and see if we get anything, you know, based off of information or rotations. And instead, T1, I mean, there's 2 players on A, Doug. There's one towards mid-market, and it's just Curry over here again, who a couple times T1 has entrusted him the security of this B site, and Cloud9 has exploited it.
He's got some utility there, and then the leader should give it away. Just buy some time, and if you can get a pick, that's great, and that's exactly what Curry does. He takes care of Mitch, but the spike is going to go down for Cloud9. The other thing worth noting is they've got a Hunter's Fury to work with. You'll see Vice playing off-site for 2 reasons. One, he has the op, but then also he's got that Hunter's Fury. He's got to stay alive here to stop any sort of retake shenanigans. He's gonna get pushed. Vice hits the shot anyway on a Curry. Very well played. T1's just down to 2. Skadoodle's gonna use that Rolling Thunder as Vice gets another one. Skadoodle alone. Skadoodle dead. Vice with 3. Cloud9 get to 4.
Vice with a rock solid post plant B main hold with the operator. That's impressive stuff considering how well T1 was handling the situation. Curry drops the neural theft. Skadoodle puts the flashpoint through the wall. You think, oh man, he's going to get overwhelmed. Instead, decides to turn the round back in its Cloud9's favor again. And 4 rounds now, Doug. And I think, you know, as strong as T1 came into this half, I think they were leading at 5-1. Yeah, 5-1 at one point. You know, 3 of the last 4 have gone the way of Cloud9. They are looking continuously for more pressure over here towards A main. They're investing some utility into it. And they've got a few ultimates to work with as well.
You've mentioned that support breach role. Look at how it was a CC right off that. And then you see Spider and Automatic swing out to really deny that. They have to wait, and then they get punished for it. Spider gets a kill anyway. Now Zeta does swing, trades it out, but Cloud9 initially starting to see how that breach could really be a problem.
Definitely. And you've shown 4 players, at least 4 players, I believe, from Cloud9 over here towards A main. You don't necessarily, that's not always a comfortable feeling. Because at least T1, you know, they're aware of the fact that the majority of Cloud9 is towards A. And Curry's not going to push through B main for a flank, just by virtue of the fact that there is unknown factors on the board. And there's no reason for an unnecessary risk. However, you know, even Days kind of falling back towards defender spawn, jump spotting over the mid wall. Cloud9 comes back here towards A. There's just going to be these 2 players towards street.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Skadoodle goes big there. Days joins in on it as well. T1 get to 7. And I think you even saw... You saw a few things there, right? You saw Days peek up over mid. You saw, I believe it was automatic, and I'm forgetting who the other player was, peek out of tree to take things away. So Curry, right, knows that there's nobody pushing up B because he's staying home over there. Days checks across the middle of the map. You saw 2 players swing out over towards Cat, and yeah, A was open, but there's so much known there. I mean, you know exactly where the hit's going.
Yeah, there was maybe 5 or 10 seconds where there was a window for Cloud9. They nearly hit it, but the crossfire gets reset from automatic and Skadoodle, who hits some nice sheriff shots across the way. And maybe a little bit more of a default coming out from T1. Oh, look at this. Already loses his duel, and that's an entry here for Cloud9 over here at B, where there's nobody else remaining, Doug.
Yep, and that was Curry trying to assume the same position he did the previous round. Not nearly as successful. Clean shots from Relics. He's got the Empress. See if he opts to use it. Really 4 ultimates across the board for Cloud9. T1 certainly does not have the same luxury, as they're only down to 3 members left as well. Mitch gonna use that lockdown. Buy some time and continue to eat the clock up. As Cloud9 try to get to 5. Now for T1, as soon as that goes down, that should be their cue. Skadoodle pushing Leaf back early on. He did get tagged up, down to 43 health. Flash was there too! Zeta gets 2! Automatic trades 1 out, as it's just down to automatic and Zeta with the 3rd. The Blade Storm was there. Cloud9 get to 5.
Switching sides.
Wow. Impressive recovery in this half. I mean, wasn't an altogether T1 affair. However, I mean...
Well, the beginning was.
Yeah, and certainly there was a few times where Cloud9 had a precarious financial situation. You know, I'll add one more thing. You know, just kind of having the ultimate advantage is great for both sides. But even just towards the end there, like investing in the lockdown, I mean, it's last round, of course. But there's just nothing really T1 can do at that point. It's pretty much wraps. There's this beautiful cat play from Relics. I think throughout this game, we're going to continue to see him heat up. There were some really impressive entries there. Get that last round.
See how Cloud9 choose to play things here defensively. To get to the second half again. T1 up 1-0, up 7-5 on map 2. And this is to make your way to close. You lose here, I mean, you're done until the second leg of the VCT. So if there was a time for Cloud9 to make some magic happen, it's got to be in this half. It's got to be here. Defensively, pretty stalwart so far, as T1 hasn't been able to get a whole lot. As they creep their way up towards Cat, there are going to be 2 members. Great crossfire across tree room. The smoke's going to go down to really deny info from those 2 players. But Relics again, man, hits the shots through the smoke. A big opening pick for Cloud9.
Oh yeah, and Curry starting his mid lurk, but T1 is moving towards A. This Cat split fully underway now. Holding onto that dark cover is Daze, relatively wise not to come through there just yet, but as I say that, rips the head off Daze, and the Curry lurk is already down from a long-range frenzy from Zeta.
Zeta had a chance to blow it up. Vice goes big as well. He gets 2 to close out the round. C9 win the pistol in the second half, the ever-crucial pistol to try to get to map 3.
Oh yeah, that is a huge feather in the hat of Cloud9, where you know, starting off the round 5v4 is well and good enough, but right here, the retake that isn't even quite a retake yet. Just so strong. Wisely coming through the dark cover. Both automatic and Skadoodle staring right at you, but Vice gets the better of them. That's the power of the frenzy right there. Already a pissed around win, as you mentioned, for Cloud9, Doug. This is where you maybe turn the series around.
That's certainly the hope. You see Zeta still rocking that frenzy, and the results are the same. Oftentimes we see him in the second round not buy up so that he can get an op into the third round. That certainly seems to be the plan for Cloud9 here. Again, it's the frenzy in the hands of Zeta. Really, the frenzy in the hands of Cloud9 so far has been a lot for T1 in the second half.
For sure. For sure. You've got to respect the spray of the frenzy, even at mid-range.
At long
Times
range.
There.
Yeah, it was a sniper shot from outside B main to cat, but that's all right.
Now, Relix just got some info there, but chose not to fire. Right? He knew that there was a player picking up that ult orb. He pinged it out, and the ping was smack dab on his head. But Relix remaining patient.
The worry there is probably like, okay, if I start spraying through this dark cover, what are the chances he's got a teammate popping out at me?
It trades back, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right here, we got another really tense situation. Zeta finds one, falls back.
Again, bro.
Mitch and his turret bail him out.
Again. Now it's Mitch who pushes in. Mitch good for one. Skadoodle trades him out. Now Leaf shows up. Leaf, baby, mowing him down, and Zeta with the third. That frenzy again. Cloud9 tie things up. The second half's going to be good.
7-all, and it's been a while, Doug, since we've described the situation to be in favor of Cloud9 as a whole, and here we are, where not only are they, domineering the second half thus far, but they're looking good, man. There was Leaf all in the first map where we could probably have stitched together a quick montage, a frag movie for the man, but here you've got Relix, really, I think, and Zeta stepping up in their own ways just on the scoreboard. You can see it, but I feel like our observer has expertly captured that several times here in this game where...
Zeta has a judge.
Oh.
Zeta has a judge! And he knows that Curry's there, right? Like, he heard the bullets, he saw the cage go up. I thought we were going to see something. I'm so sorry I cut you off, but it looked like it was going to happen.
I thought for sure it was at that point. I mean, Zeta's creeping up, snake in the grass, literally in a blade storm, or sorry, excuse me, a cloud burst. Just don't want to go in there, man. Curry is wise to it to some degree. And, I mean, you just check the mini-map right here. T1 is biding their time. You've got Spider walking up mid, not going to find any alarm bots, no tripwires to speak of. Of course, no Cypher on Cloud9. So Daze finds the entry here. I believe that may have been Catwalk. Couldn't quite tell myself, but you know what? That was deep mid. So maybe that's a jump spot, man. That's long-range frag nonetheless. 30 seconds left. Decision must be made for T1 here in the coming seconds of where they will end, and it seems like it will be towards A here, Doug.
Flash was there, but there's so much Killjoy utility. You see the paranoia coming out as well from Leaf as he gets up close and personal. He's still got that Ares. He's going to get pushed back, but with enough discipline, he should be left unchecked. Spider gets one.
10 seconds.
Vice up in heaven. He's going to drop at the hands of Spider, and there's Leaf. Leaf, yep, we talked about him. He's going to take care of Dazed, but now the gate's up. You know exactly where he is. He's going to switch out weapons as Cloud9's just down to 2 members left. Spider waiting for that flash to give him a bit more room to work with. Zeta on the swing. Zeta with the shots. Filthy. Now he's going to use the Blade Storm. Peeks on up. Not spotting anyone. There's a Cloud Burst. He's going to dash into it, and he's going to get mowed down through the smoke. Leaf was alone. Leaf drops. Nice shots from Automatic. T1 take the lead back.
Nice recovery here from T1. Started with that dazed, mid-frag where, again, I personally missed it, but it seemed as though it was a long-range shot on somebody who was spotting for information. And for Cloud9, not only did you not get information in that instance, but you lost a player, so an easy mid-game call to just regroup, split a site. T1 gets it done, and we do have a mostly full buy. You got a Bucky on Vice, but an operator on Zeta, so this will be a buy coming out here from Cloud9, despite the fact that they lost the previous round. Fault line will cuss. Catwalk appropriately. Relix clears one out top mid. That's Skadoodle to fall with a crisp Vandal headshot.
Gets away. There's that op from Zeta that we were talking about previously. Good enough to take care of Curry. Mitch takes care of Spider. Cloud9, they still have the numbers advantage. It's just one now. As Cloud9 start to scurry over towards A, you see Automatic with the spike should be able to get it down. course, as I say that, it seems like they're cutting noise maybe. Yeah, look at Cloud9. Relics is already starting to rotate back. You've got to respect the fact that right now they don't know where the spike is. They don't know where T1 is. Now it's going to be up. Spike's going to go down. And now Cloud9 are going to fight for this retake here. They have a good bit of room to work with. And again, remember, Vice has a Bucky. Now, the Bucky has gotten a lot of... has been talked about a lot recently for how good of a weapon it is, so it's certainly not a slouch. Good shock dart there by Daze. That's going to have to give them to go forward. Relics gets one with the Bucky. Zeta gets the other one. Cloud9, a great retake onto A, and they're going to get the defuse. We're knotted up at 8 apiece.
That was a crucial Bucky kill there coming in from Relics, and it starts the retake. It cleans it up quickly at Cloud9. 8 all, and we've been speaking the praises of Spider, so I'll keep it short. He's really playing this expendable duelist position very well, I feel like. Just confident. And it really only kind of shows its cracks when they're unable to trade off of him. And right there, T1 just kind of falling in numbers quickly. You know, typically you'd at least hope to gain enough ground, maybe get a spike plant for it, and they get that.
Out of my way.
But three members of Cloud9 do live. Cover the weaponry just fine. So Blade Storm gets popped. A low buy coming out from T1. Perhaps a fast A split.
We'll see.
It seems like they're poised for it.
Get an opportunity to see just how well he can play that expendable duelist role here in a spot where T1 has nothing, while Cloud9 has, as far as guns go, really everything. The one exception, Vice upgrades from a Bucky to a Judge, but otherwise rifles across the board.
I called a fast A split, but I just realized Curry is retreating off of B main, where he made some early presence. And that's a great recon bolt, if only to make Zeta think about...
Here.
Somebody is close. There it is. Automatic does find a straggler frag on a leaf, but Cloud9 has handled this eco round from T1 exceptionally. Taking the lead, first time of the game, I believe here, Doug. 9-8. Maybe second time?
Maybe second time. Either way, the point you're trying to make here is that it's been very close, and I would have to wholeheartedly agree with you. Cloud9 again with a one-round lead, the op back in the hands of Zeta. Vice still rocking that Judge. And then for T1 now, well, yeah, they should be able to buy up. They're going to have armor and rifles across the board. It looks like we're in the midst of a pause. T1 opting to go for attack pause here. Regroup. And to figure things out here. Give them a different look. Because Cloud9, I mean, it's been Cloud9 all day, baby. This is their playground. It's been that way so far.
Certainly has felt like it is a much more comfortable environment compared to previously on Icebox, where they still held T1 very close in the scoreline. So you got to imagine the possibility for this to go to the distance is still there, but the onus is now on T1 to somehow turn the tides and perhaps take away the momentum that Cloud9 is feeling right now. And it seems we're getting back underway with the action, but both teams full of, well, I was about to say full buy of rifles, but there's a Judge in play.
And he's been right. I remember it was a Bucky a couple of rounds ago. Then he upgraded to the Judge last round. Still has it here.
Yeah, I think Vice is doing the shotgun only need a Radiant challenge right now, but in the series. So good luck.
What can T1
and right away
do here?
They've seemed to have. This is the second time we've seen this, Doug, where T1 kind of just is opting to default rather than play towards the main early on. And I think they've just now discovered that there's no alarm bot mid, and there's no real active presence over here at market. They're just shutting that B door most rounds. Mm-hmm. So Spider's in this backstab position up at Pizza, and you got to wonder if you're T1 in this scenario. Obviously, you want to leave him in that position to make plays, cut rotations. But which direction do you go? And Dazed meandering over here towards Catwalk into the hands of potentially a Judge, Doug.
Oh, baby, here we go. Oh, no, the timing. Yep, he swings. Leaf, they didn't know he was there. Leaf gets one. Vice drops. Great paranoia there, but Daze gets a second through the paranoia. Relic drops his Relic. Daze goes huge. Spider gets one as well. Cloud9 just down to Mitch. He's alone here in a 1v4. He's certainly at least not going to be able to get to stop the spike from going down, but what else can he do here?
You know, maybe you get 2 and pop a lockdown, but fact is, this is all but wrapped up. Dazed collects 4, and man, you said timing, Doug. That is the understatement of the series so far. Quite literally, as Dazed is walking into the crosshairs of a vice holding a judge, the owl drone gets popped. He punishes him immediately and ends up collecting 3 more really close range, up close and personal for Dazed there. And it was just no chance for Cloud9 in any of those duels to come out on top. And right there, 4K for him on the bout. And now 9-all. T1 back in it with full buys in tow.
Yeah, Cloud9's still in a comfy spot here, though, right? Like, financially, they were still able to buy another op. They have a couple of ultimates at their disposal. Well, but then Spider, once again. Spider happened. You see Dazed spotted one player, tries to go hunting for him. Try to push him back, at least for now. As Zeta gets away.
Yeah, and the tricky part about this, and okay, so Curry is going to linger. I imagine after that fight, there's no more presence. Cloud9, as I say that, starts walking up, starts to take that map control back. And T1 predictably regroups towards A now, and Cloud9, as they continue to get no information towards mid and B. I don't imagine the rotations will come in quickly. You do have a lockdown, Doug, so
probably a flash.
Might see that here.
Yeah, I think the lockdown from Cloud9, but you see. All right, here we go. The Rolling Thunder. No follow-up quite yet. Spider there. He dashes his way in, and he walks regrettably right into a ton of utility. There's the lockdown that you were talking about out from Mitch, but they know where it is, and it looks like they might try to clear it out. The Hunter's Fury from Daze tags up one. Automatic taking care of Leaf as Skadoodle does manage to get the spike down. We mentioned the lockdown. It got cleaned up, but Mitch doesn't care because he's able to take care of things with the Phantom. Cloud9, T1 here in a 3v3. Zeta getting tagged up pretty badly here, just 7 health, but he does have the op. That could... I am so sorry. That was entirely my fault. I totally jinxed him. T1, take that round away from Cloud9.
That Curry lurk, you know what? We saw it a couple times start to come into fruition on Icebox. Maybe once earlier in this half, he got up near market and made a play, but that was just a backstab for the ages. Curry getting it done there, closing it out as Skadoodle does chime in with his own fair share. Wow, I can't believe we're this far into map 2 and we finally saw Hunter's Fury out of Dazed. So, I mean, to be fair, there's a reason why he's holding on to it.
Right.
I just, you know, dealing with the lockdown, you got to do it. Mitch, as we said it, as we spoke it into existence, immediately gets ripped away from them. And you know what? That bore fruit because now they're up 10-9. Back in the lead is T1.
Yep. Yeah, and this back and forth, right? We mentioned 2 heavyweight fighters trading blows. And it's been that way in kills. It's been that way in rounds. The whole series, yes, T1 has a lead, but Cloud9 has been nipping at their heels the entire time. Doodle gets the opener onto Zeta, but Leaf getting in some of his own. Cloud9 just down to 3.
Yeah, Skadoodle willing to burn a few flashpoints there to... He's taking a gunfight. Curry backs him up, bails him out.
What a good
damage
crossfire.
is still getting traded back and forth.
Gosh, what a good crossfire. Velix drops. Vice is alone with the classic. He's not going to be around for long. T1 take a 2-round lead, but now Cloud9 have guns, and they have 3 ultimates, bringing into this next round.
Yeah, and you have Spider at 3,800. He is going to get a rifle out, so no need necessarily to go for an orb and grab your own Blade Storm, but T1 with 3 straight. Not only have you functionally reset Cloud9 in the prior round, but now we're at a point where C9 has finally gotten their economy under control. You get the operator back out, and yet it's 11-9. Clock's ticking on something to click in the cracking of this attack for T1. Hunter's Fury gets 1 tag and a little bit of information at top mid, but not enough to anything really to come for Cloud9's favor, and instead, You know, right off the bat, you see Zeta getting picked. Bottom mid.
And that was the op, right? Zeta brought an op into that round, so that's not in the fold anymore. We'll see if Cloud9 try to pick it back up and put it to use. See them creeping their way up the middle of the map. Meanwhile, T1 have taken Cat. Looks like they're going to try to work their way into tree. Leaf's in a spot for something special here. He gets one, gets two.
Huge.
Looking for more. He's going to get flashed up. Tries to get to safety, but Mitch is there with the cross. Leaf gets a third. Cloud9 play this round beautifully, spectacularly, as T1 is just down to days. Now, it's a stretch. All right, took care of it. Relics gets the kill. Cloud9 reduce the gap back down to 1 round.
Wow, what a response from C9. And man, I'm sitting there trying to explain, like, hey, Cloud9 needs to find something to crack open this attack from T1. And, you know, they streaked a bunch of rounds together. But look at this play from Leaf, where he's able to dance around the opposition, find some headshots, and even pops a shrouded step, gets to the other side of mid, protects himself, and re-angles for the opposite side peek at Fridge. That is just expertly played from the Omen of Cloud9 Blue, and now 11-10 down to the wire, Doug.
Yeah, and dude, you got to give Mitch some love there, right? That crossfire there to keep him alive just long enough to get the third. It's just like the hero there for Leaf in that moment. Zeta with the opening pick here, and the operator this round desperately needed for Cloud9 here, as T1 tries to do a little flash and dash. You see Spider has made his way onto the site. He's got the Blade Storm. He's got room. He's got everything right now. Skadoodle should be able to get the plan off.
Yeah, and right after the plan, he's going to give him a flashpoint for this peak.
Yep.
Zeta's ready for it.
Yep.
Aldrone might spoil it, though.
There it is. Still holding fast there. Patiently, the Rolling Thunder. He might follow up with that, but Curry was actually there to pinch it in. Spider went up as well. He's able to take care of Vice. It's Cloud9's down to 3. The clock continuing to tick away as Cloud9, they're just kind of forced to funnel in the same way here, and Automatic can really blow this thing up. Relics gets one. Automatic on the flank. Curry gets him as well. Relics also in the fold. Things drop down to a 2v2. Make that a 2v1 as Curry is alone. Trying to keep things up. Trying to keep things up. Oh my gosh, Curry gets 4. T1 at match point.
Man, I feel like we haven't stressed enough how big Curry has been for this T1 roster since his addition. He had a standout performance in the last few times that we've seen T1 play. And here he is coming up big when they need him most. What would have potentially yielded another tying round for Cloud9. Suddenly, he's on map series point off of a 1v2 clutch from Curry.
Dude, Curry went bonkers. Absolutely nuts. They're using the neural theft, getting all the information for T1. All right, Cloud9 here. Again, backs against the ropes, baby. This is it. Right? Map point, series point. Oh, and Zeta drops. Devastating blow for Cloud9 here.
Spider has definitely been the jet diff in this game, and I don't mean that as any disrespect towards Zeta. He has just been that good.
And like Zeta's been nuts too, man, right? Like that's what I mean about how devastating that is. Zeta's been so good for Cloud9.
Yeah, I think this series alone is enough to make me think, you know what? I'm a Spider fan. Like just the way that he's playing the game right now is so fearless. And it's impressive to watch it come into action and actually pay off for T1. And there's just so many players that are in this series on both teams that have gone above and beyond what maybe is expected of them in their respective roles. Some clutches, insane plays coming out. And as I say that, we got an early bit of action over here at mid as Relics trades one out with Spider and Daze, but 4 on 3 now. Advantage still T1 as he finds one more.
Yep, and it just went from bad to worse for Cloud9 as Daze takes care of Mitch. Skadoodle's going to flash his way onto the site. Leafs gets some info. He knows where the play is. He's going to scurry his way on over. You see Vice. He's going to be pushing his way across the middle of the map as well.
1 enemy remaining.
2v4 here turns into a 1v4 as Vice is alone. The last man standing here in a brutal spot, and it's not going to matter. Ladies and gentlemen, T1 take care of Cloud9 and advance to the close qualifiers.
Wow. I certainly think we